It's a good time for me, like gaming wise. I was so down about gaming 2 weeks ago, and then I remembered after looking at the PlayStation Showcase and Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Showcase and the Nintendo Switch Showcase that I'm a multiplayer gamer. I'm not a single player gamer. These really lackluster single player games coming out don't really affect me. All I play, you guys haven't noticed, if you've ever been to my stream a single time, if you've seen any of my clips on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, Instagram, wherever, I like multiplayer games. Outside of RuneScape and a couple card games to enjoy relaxing, like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering Arena. Yu-Gi-Oh! Not so relaxing, which is why you guys haven't seen me play it very much. I generally play fighting games and battle royales. Mostly these days, battle royales. Fighting game adjacent ones if I can find them. And otherwise, I like more innovative and interesting battle royales. You guys see the stream title and the YouTube video title, you know what I'm talking about. I think that the vast influx of early battle royales that were all shooters made people believe that the genre was going to be and had no room for innovation and would be stale. Well, now we've seen some success with battle royales that aren't shooting focused, right? That aren't mostly shooting focused or only shooting focused, with My Hero Ultra Rumble still kind of working out in a way, the way that it does right now. I haven't played it, but I see that there's a lot of melee-esque abilities, but then there's also the third-person aspects of shooting, which I think is pretty cool. It's a nice little mix of like a battle royale brawler mixed with a shooter, so that you still have that good back and forth of the looting element and the shooting and aiming aspect that you want for most shooting games. But before that, we had games like Rumbleverse, which unfortunately shut down, that were even more innovative on that front, where the entire map was one big arena platform, 3D platform, right? Where it was mostly platforming and wall running and jumping over buildings, parkour style, while hanging out on the ground, going for big grapples and long combos. It was the closest thing we could get to a fighting game battle royale, not a beat 'em up or a brawler battle royale. Now, I want to talk about some of the games that I'm currently interested in and excited to come out. If you guys can't tell, this is Knockout City music. I also liked watching a lot of Knockout City. I never actually got the chance to play it when it was actually out. I believe there's private servers now, but I never got the chance to play it when it was fully open before it got shut down. Unfortunately, I missed out on it. I should have just played it. I didn't realize it wouldn't be around forever. Don't sit around and wait to play games that you think look cool. You should probably play them, because with live service, they could be gone. While I say that live service is a good thing, that's one of the downsides of it. So I'm just gonna open the screen and show you guys the first one, because it's coming out faster. I want to talk about, there we go. I want to talk about Battle Crush. Battle Crush is a MOBA inspired battle royale. It is I believe it's 3v3, a 3v3 or full on multiplayer, like one free-for-all battle royale with a collapsing map, platformer elements, but also MOBA elements, right? Each hero has like a net amount of abilities. There's cooldowns on set abilities, and there's a stamina gauge, so you can't dodge and run forever, and you do eventually have to fight. You can jump as many times as your stamina bar allows you to, and dodge as many times as your stamina bar allows you to, until you run out. So it's a lot about positioning and understanding where others are going to put themselves on the screen to try to defeat your foes. Each character has their own unique abilities. I did play the closed beta, which I thought was really good. Each player, they're all based off of, like, I believe, like Greek gods and stuff, like Poseidon, Ares, Zeus, Hercules, Artemis. I don't know if Artemis is in this. I feel like Artemis is in this. Maybe Hermes, right? There's a few like, they're just Greek tropes, Greek gods, and they all have their own unique abilities, and they all play very differently, right? Like Hercules is almost like a big bruiser, big body grappler kind of tank. And then there's also supports, and then like the assassin classes, right? And I think it's really cool and innovative because of the fact that there's still a focus on looting and map positional awareness, like understanding, okay, well, I have to jump across this way, or I could take this bridge, and it seems really cool. From the little I got to play of it, I played it for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. The animations got me hooked. Yeah, it actually looks really good. I think that it has the potential to be very solid. Now, unfortunately, the platforms that it's going to be on, I say unfortunately, because it's not coming to everything, which I think is weird. But it's a little less limited than the next two we'll be talking about. It's Nintendo Switch, Steam, and mobile. All right? I fully expect, since it's an NC soft game, that we will see heavy monetization. But if the game is enjoyable and they have a game plan in which it feels as if the game would stick around, I recommend giving the game a shot, putting in $5-10 to get the battle pass, to buy a couple skins you like, and just get in there and play with some friends. This seems like the perfect kind of game where you coordinate with 2 other sweats that you know, right? You're like, okay, I'm a sweat, you're a sweat. We coordinate in this and we just game it up. I can show you guys some of the screenshots of the characters here on the website. Right there is, I believe that's Ares. And then here's a lot of the other characters. There's Hercules. I thought this is Artemis. I could be wrong. There's Poseidon. Not entirely sure why Poseidon is a small child. I think this is who is that then? Maybe the other guy is Hades or something. And maybe this is Ares. I don't remember. And this is Persephone. And that's, man, I can't remember the characters' names. But they're mostly based off of Greek gods and stuff, and Greek lore, Greek mythology, whatever you would like to call it. I think this game, if you can find gameplay of it on YouTube, take a look. See if you think it looks cool. I'm just like shining a small spotlight on them. I don't really feel like getting into the full nitty-gritty of them. Of course, the face of the game we built like that. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this being like, this is the character they showed in all the trailers, and they're just so tiny. Here's like, I believe this is the normal trailer. Let me see if I can. Dude, thanks for the raid. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think this is the cinematic trailer. It's like an anime looking opening. And there's Poseidon. Yep. Even the renders have like that anime looking aesthetic. So like, I guess it's fine. But it's got a small, simple art style, probably so that it can run at a decent frame rate on Nintendo Switch and on mobile. But I played it on Steam, and if you have a computer, I also recommend just getting it on Steam. I don't assume that you'll need a Nintendo Switch Online to play this on your Nintendo Switch, so if that's all you have, or a phone, and you'd rather play it on your Switch, give it a shot on Switch. This thing is optimized 100% for controller. When I was playing it on PC, I played it on controller, and it felt great. It felt fine. When I tried to play it with keyboard and mouse, it felt a little janky. Like, it didn't feel smooth. Like, maybe they really hadn't optimized and thought about, you know, DPI settings and sensitivity for mouse and keyboard, because it wasn't moving as fast as it does on my desktop normally. So the game, it's a cool little game to spotlight. Let me move on to the next one. The next one we're going to be looking at also isn't out yet. Oh, I just got an ad. Dude, that's messed up. I have my ad blocker on, so we don't have to deal with ads. I'm sorry, guys.
All of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and
yeah, all right.
I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too.
I have Spectrum Internet, and I'm very mad about it right now. Thanks for that, though. I really got an ad. W-Raid indeed, yeah. The next game, of course, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm very excited about is Outrage Fight Fest. I've been looking at Outrage Fight Fest since the closed alpha. It is a beat 'em up brawler battle royale mixed with other team-based game modes like domination, pain points, which is basically just like get as many points as you can by hitting people, actually doing damage, and crate grab, which is, I guess, akin to like a capture the flag, but you have to carry multiple flags back to your base to win. I think it's a really cool game. I like that it has multiple game modes off the bat, off rip, and that it's going to be mostly focused on a fighting game or a brawler-esque element, right? There's no looting phase. I think it's kind of hard, even in the survival mode, which they consider their battle royale, to really consider it a full-fledged battle royale because there's no looting. There's no items to pick up other than health or rage and weapons. You can't carry anything. You don't have an inventory. But the combat is like short, chaotic, very fun. And I believe with friends, this game is probably a riot. I'm sure, right? Every time I've had the chance to play with the devs or to play with community members, and we're just screaming, yelling at each other, having a blast. I think this game is really sick. It's still on Steam right now as a free demo. You guys should go try it before. I don't know if they're going to pull the demo down or make the demo offline only, where you can only play in spots, once the game goes into early access in July. I didn't mention it with the last game, which is Battle Crush. Battle Crush is actually going into early access in a week. In literally 7 days, June 27th, it'll be on Steam, Nintendo Switch, and mobile. This game currently is only going to Switch. It's only going to Steam. It's not going to be on mobile yet. It's not going to be on Nintendo Switch that I know of at all. But they do have plans to release it for console eventually. I'm hoping that's going to be after the early access. Maybe once the game fully launches, after development is done. Boom, they'll also throw it onto the consoles. This game, will be paid. I don't know how much it's going to be. They haven't announced the price yet, but if it's cheap enough, you guys should pick it up if you think it looks cool. I don't really have any way to show you guys gameplay, do I? I could probably like play the trailer or something. This is like the only way I can show you guys stuff. So let me turn down the game. We'll just let the trailer rock. It's really loud. Let's turn that down. That's pretty loud. And that was earlier footage too. I think it looks a lot better now. They don't have some of these characters in the game anymore. Reminds me of Zone 4. It's very... Power Stone had like generic characters and was like not set in a fantasy setting and was up to like 32 players or 16 players. That's what I get. I get Power Stone without jumping whenever I play this game. And I like Power Stone a lot too. Power Stone's really wacky and fun and chaotic. And it's got like small items you can pick up. That's why I say it's more like Brawler and Beat 'em Up than it is Battle Royale to a heavier degree. But it does still have that Battle Royale aspect of having a circle that closes in, a full free-for-all aspect. We're all trying to just be the last man standing, right? It does have LMS, which is last man standing. So you got to at some point at least halfway consider it a Battle Royale. Like I said, this game is only coming to Steam right now. There are plans for a console release. This game is going to be paid. I don't really know when exactly it's going to get its monetization announced. And there are characters. There's not like a battle pass system as far as I can tell. And it doesn't seem they're going to be selling any skins or cosmetics yet. So they're probably just getting money from people early access playing the game to continue development of the game and maybe get it ported over to the other consoles and such, which I think is pretty healthy. It also means that more than likely you don't have as many issues about the game potentially just being taken down, delisted, and no longer supported like you would with a game like, unfortunately, Knockout City, Rumbleverse, Hyperscape, all of the failed battle royales and like team-based games before it. Battleborn, rest in peace. All of those games, you know, it just kind of went to the wayside. Servers got shut down because they were free to play, and it was easy to just say, yeah, we don't need to support these anymore. This game is going to be paid. So maybe a safer time investment for you gamers out there who like to make sure that the product that you're playing, the live service that you're interested in, will continue to get support. The last game I want to touch on is actually already out, and you guys should play it right now because I know I'm finna. I gotta wait for a homie to get on. This game, it's called Rumble Club. I discovered this organically. I was just looking through Steam, looking at beat 'em ups, scrolling through the beat 'em up category, and I saw this game, and the splash screen looked very Fall Guys. And I was like, okay, Fall Guys is an interesting little battle royale. This looks kind of Fall Guys. I see like a battle royale aspect. There's a bunch of people. What's going on here? This guy's throwing that guy into the lava. Okay, let me see if this game is cool. Then I watched the trailer, which once again we'll go ahead and do real quick. Go ahead and watch this little trailer.
I want ye to hit me as hard as ye can.
Why?
How much can ye know about yourself if you've never been in a rumble?
Real.
Wait, let me respond. Like many of you, I was stuck.
I think the voice acting in this was really funny.
What kind of gadget defines me as a punchy? I prayed for a different game. This is how I met Captain Punch.
Hurry up, before I lose me nerve. Yar! You hit me right in me beard.
It was at the tip of everyone's tongue. We just created the game.
Punchings! Welcome to Rumble Club. The first rule of Rumble Club be, tell everyone about
Rumble Club. I love that. That's hilarious, by the way.
Each one of ye be having a homework assignment. Go out and munch as many cupcakes as ye can.
In Rumble Club, sometimes the things you punch end up punching you. You punched me at a very strange time in my life.
This game is very cute, but also very fun, right? I had my reservations when I saw it. Like immediately I saw it, I was like, okay, this looks like a little corny cash grab kind of game. But I mean, for it being on unfortunately only 3 platforms, Steam, Epic Games, and then both mobile platforms, it's really fun. It's a very simple battle royale. The only thing, and there's team-based modes, of course, which I'll get into in a second, but the battle royale aspect is really fun for being as simple as it is. It's just punch and move, and then there's gadgets on the map that you can collect and use for a limited time. They do have like a duration that they last for, and they are varying degrees of strong. There are some that feel kind of overtuned, and there are some that are just okay. They're not too ridiculous. But it's charming in a simple way, but the game is fun in such short bursts that you can pick it up and put it down whenever you want. There's also private lobbies. So if you get a good group of friends to want to play, you can just play in private lobbies and completely disregard all manner of outside game modes, right? The same thing, I guess, with Outrage Fight Fest. You can also do private lobbies in that. I forgot to mention that. The non-Battle Royale game modes, because there's Battle Royales in, I believe, duos, singles, trios, and squads. With up to, I think it's 20 players per lobby. Battleborn deserves a second chance. I really liked Battleborn. There's also Sugar Rush, which is about eating cupcakes, and you want to make sure you get as many as you can before the enemies do. There's King of the Hill, where you fight over rotating points, and there is 10v10. I believe there's also one more that I can't think of off the top of my head. Gadget game, which is basically gun game from Call of Duty, where you have to get a single kill with each gadget in the game. You never get to use your fists. You can only use gadgets. I think it's kind of cool because it makes you progressively get better at using the gadgets, but those are all rotating limited time modes. That is one of the only reserves I have to this, is you got to check back in daily to find out if the mode you want to play the most is back. But because it's free to play, because the matches are so quick, it's pretty nice to drop in, drop out, and play at your own leisure. I think this game is really cool. It's super simple. It's a lightweight game, so it'll run on your phone just fine, and it'll run on your computer just fine, as long as you don't have a computer built in like 2009, I'm sure. So I think everyone should give this game a shot, including the other two that I also mentioned. Remember, Outrage is coming out next month, and Battle Crush comes out in just a week now. So if you guys are looking for some more Battle Royale experiences that aren't the status quo of shooting and running and mantling and grappling onto stuff like you would in something like a Fortnite or an Apex Legends or a Call of Duty Warzone, give one of these Battle Royales a shot. You might find something new and interesting and innovative that you didn't know that you were looking for. Anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish, talking about some of the games I'm looking forward to and the innovations in the Battle Royale genre that have only started to begin again after unfortunate shutdowns of games like Rumbleverse. Signing out and saying